Welcome to your power workout that will not only make you sweat, but also help you crush those mental blocks, allowing you to see that you are capable of more than you realize. So as we sweat it out at Lake Ospedale, remember to keep breathing, connect to that fire within, and remember that you are powerful, you are strong, and you are capable. Accept your current limitations, knowing that these are temporary and your potential is limitless. Join me on the mat and let's flow. Let's begin at the top of the mat, lifting the arms up to the sky and bringing the hands down to heart, extending the arms out, welcoming all that this practice will give us. Taking a moment of stillness before we begin. Centering, feeling grounded. And hands lift up to the sky. Down to the sides. Lifting up once again. And hands down to heart. Take a deep breath here. And then step the feet out to the side, toes pointed out and squatting down, lifting up, toes point forward, fold forward, lift halfway, and step back to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg, step between the hands, lift up to warrior one, warrior two, and cartwheel the hands down, step back to plank or one-legged plank, flowing it out, meeting back in downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up to the sky, step between the hands, lift up to warrior one, pivot open to warrior two, and hands down to the mat, step back to one-legged plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. We're going at a quick pace here, so just breathe, step to either side of the mat, coming into forward fold, lift halfway, fold forward, turn the toes out, lift up to a squat, a wide-legged chair squat, and lift up, toes turn forward, taking a deep breath, and step the feet together. Lift the hands up to the sky, step the feet out, toes turn out, squat down, go as low as you can, and lift up, toes turn forward, fold forward, halfway lift, and step or hop back to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Same sequence again, right leg lifts, steps between the hands, warrior one, warrior two, cartwheeling the hands down, stepping back to plank or one-legged plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, moving right along, left leg lifts up, steps between the hands, lift to warrior one, pivot to warrior two, and down to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Step or hop to either side of the mat, folding forward, halfway lift, toes turn out, lift to a wide chair squat, hold and lift. Feet come together, holding in Tadasana. Hands lift to the sky. Feet come to either side of the mat, toes turned out, squatting down, and lift up. And just doing some wide-legged chair squats here for 3, 4, 5, 6, just a few more here. Connect to your breath and pulse here. 6, 7, 8. Keep going. Hold and lift. And let's squat down to Malasana. Toes are still pointed out. Elbows are gently pushing into the knees. Taking a quick break here. Feeling our whole body engaged. And hands come to the mat. Step or hop back to plank. And let's do some kicks to the side. Originally, I wanted to slide my feet along the mat as sliders, so you can do that, or you can just kick like I'm doing. Try to keep that foot lifted up for an extra challenge. And hips lift up into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Big deep breath. Bend the knees and step or hop to the hands, sitting back to Malasana. Yogic squat. And reach up to the sky and squat down to Malasana. Doing our Malasana squats here. Really feeling the core engaged, the thighs, the glutes. Our whole lower body is really active here. Try to keep your back as straight as you can. And sitting to Malasana, hands come to the mat. Step back to plank. And doing our kicks or sliders again. Again, your preference depending upon the terrain. And again, right, left. And hips release back to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, step or hop to the hands, sit to Malasana. Lift up and down. Again, doing our Malasana squats. Really challenging the lower body today. Keep breathing. You can do this. I know it's hard, but you can do it. And lift to Tadasana. Holding here at the top. And exhale, folding forward. And sitting down to the mat, swinging to the length of the mat, coming onto your right side. Hands behind your head, knees together, feet are lifted. I'm going to do our clam exercise. So open that top knee up and close it down and up, down and up. Working the glutes here, working the legs, and holding at the top. Keep the feet lifted. Hold and breathe. And close, open, extend. Close, open, extend. Close, open, extend. Close, open, extend. Just a few more here. Extending that leg as straight as you can, keeping the feet lifted the whole time. Knees come together, open, extend, together and open, hold here, holding, and extend the legs out, roll to the belly, lift up to the knees. And let's come to the left side now. Let's start with our clam exercise, knees together and open. Feet are lifted. Trying to engage your core here as you work the legs and the glutes. And hold open. You can extend your arm above your head. And let's close, open, extend. Close, open, extend. Close, open, extend. Close, open, extend. Keep going, keep breathing. Keep activating your core, activating all of your muscles, and holding open. Hold that clam open. And extending the legs, rolling onto the belly, lifting up to the knees. I'm just going to switch around here. And coming into tabletop, let's extend the right leg and make a few circles here. You can make them as small or as big as you want. And going the other direction. Feeling the leg engaging, and hold here. Breathe deep. Bend the knee. Bring the knee down. And let's open to our fire hydrant exercise. Open the right knee up to the right side, up to the sky. Keeping the knee bent. You can flex the foot here or point the toes, whatever feels best. Keep lifting. I know this is getting really challenging. You're going to be so glad that you did this. And at the top, let's pump. Pump that knee. Pump the knee up to the sky, keeping it lifted. Keep going. And release down. Back to tabletop, taking a quick breath here. And let's extend the right leg out. Once again, touch the left side of the mat and the right side. And just switching here, doing our toe taps. Breathe into this. You got this. You can do it. Keep going. Tap, 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 tap. Keep tapping. Keep lifting. Lift through the glute. And hold in the center. Bend the knee, bring it down. And release the hips back, coming into a quick child's pose. Just giving our body a quick rest before we move to the next side. Let's lift up the tabletop, extend the left leg out, and making a few circles. And going the other way, feeling the whole leg engaging. And hold to center, bend the knee, bring it down, and open to the left in our fire hydrant exercise. Open, open, lifting the knee up as high as you can. Doesn't have to go super high, just enough so that you feel that engagement in the leg and the glute. And hold and pump. Pumping the left knee up to the sky. Keep going. You can do this. Just a little bit longer. And down. Extend the left leg out again. Toe taps now to the right side and the left. Tap, 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 tap. Tapping at your own pace. If you need to go a bit slower, that's perfectly fine. Just want to keep working. Whatever you do, don't stop. Keep the muscles working and engaging. And hold in the center. Bring the knee down with the other one. And sitting back to child's pose. Breathing here, lift up to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts and the knee comes between the hands for an active pigeon pose. Swing that left leg around, touch the left toes to the right side of the mat and swing it back to active pigeon. So what we're doing here is just getting some active range of motion in that left hip. And again, moving at your own pace, doing what feels right for you. And tuck the toes, lift that right leg back to down dog. Pausing for a breath. And left leg lifts up, left knee between the hands, active pigeon. Swing the right leg in front. And back to active pigeon. moving at your own pace, feeling the engagement in the right hip muscles. Keep going. And lifting the left leg back into down dog. Hold, breathe. Reconnect. Finding your center again, slowing down the breath. And let's bend the knees and step or hop to the front of the mat. Rolling up slowly to Tadasana, hands are lifting. And let's point the toes out and squatting down to Malasana. Lift up, toes point forward, forward fold, halfway lift, and step or hop to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Right leg lift, steps between the hands, warrior one, warrior two, and hands to mat, step back to plank, flowing it out, doing the same exercise we did in the beginning of the class. Left leg lifts up, steps between the hands, warrior one, warrior two, hands to mat, step back to plank, and flow it out. Releasing to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, step or hop to the hands, forward fold, halfway lift, toes turn out, lift to a squat, and reach up to the sky, extend through the legs, feet come together, pausing in samastiti, feeling our body warm and ready to take on the day. And let's sit to the mat, bringing the soles of the feet together, finding our butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana, feeling the stretch in the hips. And hands come behind the head, lift straight up, and then bend forward slightly, a little bit more, and then as much as you can, while still keeping the back straight. And then come up the same way that you came down. So we're just finding a bit more engagement in the hip muscles, a bit more active engagement. Instead of just doing a passive stretch, we're allowing the muscles to work. We're also working the core here, as well as the back. And last one, lifting up, release the hands. Bring the right knee into the chest, grab the right foot, and you can rock it from side to side, or just bring the right foot back toward the right ear, finding our archer's pose, and switching legs, grabbing the left foot, keeping the spine as straight as you can, the right leg is extended, left foot to left ear, as if you're drawing back a bow. And release. Let's pivot open to the center of the mat, left foot to the right thigh, reaching up and folding forward in our head to knee pose. And lifting up, switching sides. Right knee is bent, right foot to the left thigh, folding forward in a nice stretch for our hamstrings. And lifting up. Let's extend both legs out to opposite sides of the mat, finding our wide-legged forward fold. And again, bending forward just enough so that you feel the stretch in the inner thighs and the inner leg. Grabbing onto the knees, the ankles, or the toes. And lifting up. Slowly bring the feet together. And let's swing our legs to the front of the mat and release the back down to the mat, finding our final pose, Shavasana. And let's relax, absorbing all of the wonderful benefits of this practice. Breathe and let go. And it's time to come out of our Shavasana, lift the hands above the head, and either come to your side or roll up, coming to the center of the mat, legs are crossed. Let's reach up to the sky and bend to the right side of the mat, finding a stretch in that left side body, and switching sides. Breathe into the stretch, and back to center, hands lift up, and come to heart, thanking yourself for this wonderful workout you just did. See you again soon. Namaste.